So we're here at Anfield for the post-match debrief. I'm with our Everton reporter Adam Jones after Liverpool's 5-2 win against the Blues this evening. The unbeaten record at Anfield will stretch into its 21st year, Adam. It's a long time. None have been, or very few have been as comprehensive as tonight. What did you make of it from the Blues side of things?
I think for an Everton side of things, this has probably been up there with one of the most embarrassing displays at Anfield. Obviously, they've had 2 4-0 defeats in recent years as well, but as you say, this one just felt really comprehensive. I know Everton scored 2 goals, but that'll do little to improve the mood among Everton fans. You know, that away end was fairly empty as Wijnaldum hit the back of the net with that goal, with the game running down, and this was a really big game for Everton and for Marco Silva as well. And I think everybody seemed to realise that at the end there was a real air of sadness, acceptance almost from those Everton players who were left on the pitch. You know, they were just gobsmacked, shell-shocked by what they just experienced. And you know, I think this time, if it does fall onto the manager, I think that the system that Everton started with was just absolutely ridiculous, really. And Liverpool just managed to capitalise on it really quickly.
I mean, Jurgen Klopp made 5 changes for this one, and plenty of eyebrows were raised. He brought in Divock Origi, Adam Lallana, James Ronaldo came in. Roberto Firmino, Mohamed Salah dropped to the bench. Xherdan Shaqiri was making his first start all season. He'd only played 15 minutes previously. But none of that seemed to affect Liverpool at all, did it?
Well, I mean, that's what it was. I think Divock Origi starting was actually an inspired move in the end by Jurgen Klopp, because against Leicester, Everton played 5 at the back, and for the most part it worked out quite well. Towards the end of the game, Iheanacho and Vardy started getting in behind the defence. I suppose that was always going to happen with the pace and ingenuity that they have, but playing Divock Origi as a real focal point up front kind of bemused them a little bit, because maybe they were expecting Roberto Firmino to be there, you know, dropping back, trying to pick up possession. Maybe they were looking for somebody to be running central in behind them. And that wasn't really the case with Origi. He was that main central focal point, and it just collapsed. Like the 35th minute, Silva was forced into a sub. I think that's how disastrous that 5 at the back was. And then even from that point on, Everton didn't look that much better, to be honest.
It seemed to be a deliberate tactic from Liverpool early on to attack Triple Sidibe down the right. Sadio Mane and Andy Robertson, you know, what a combination they are down the left. Sidibe struggled, was hauled off. Silva was forced into a formation change. But I think the big thing was tonight was Liverpool's counter attacks. Everton came out and were fighting and didn't look like a team who've given up on this manager. But Liverpool, they're one of the best counter-attacking teams in the world, and they showed it for pretty much every goal, didn't they?
Well, I mean, there was one in particular. Was it the 4th goal? Maybe 3rd or 4th goal to come straight from an Everton corner.
It
was the 4th goal. It was Mane's, wasn't it? And Silva said in his post-match press conference that, you know, Everton weren't surprised by the way Liverpool played. You know, it was trying to get in behind. It was using that sort of pace, that high energy that Jurgen Klopp has managed to instill so well in this Liverpool team. You know, it wasn't a surprise. You know, it wouldn't have been a surprise to anyone from a blue persuasion watching this game that, you know, Liverpool are quite good on the counter attack, and they proved that today. But like, what will annoy Everton fans is that, you know, some of these goals were just so predictable. Like the first goal, it's a really good pass from Mane, but Holgate should close him down. Keane should intercept the pass. Yerry Mina should follow Origi's run. Like it's so easily stopped, but Everton just didn't. And you know, that first goal sort of set the tone for the rest of the game, really. And you know, second half it was a bit of a different game. I think the introduction of Moise Keane maybe changed things up a little bit. I thought he actually played all right for Everton. He was probably one of the only few. He'll be disappointed to have missed that chance, of course, in the second half, but still, it was Liverpool who took the chance, and you know, I think that was it. You know, it was just taking chances for Liverpool, and I feel like that's been what Liverpool have been doing all season. I don't think Liverpool had to play all that well in general throughout this game. but took the chances, 5 goals at the end of the day.
I mean, it's an interesting one because 12 months ago, almost to the day, Divock Origi's coming on as a last roll of the dice for Jurgen Klopp, and Liverpool fans are thinking, is this how desperate it is? We're bringing him on for his first appearance in, what was 15 months in the Premier League, and 12 months later he's a Champions League winning hero, doing the Kop, and he scores 2 again against Everton. I think that's his 5th now against the Blues. He just seems to love playing against the old enemy, doesn't he?
Fair play to him today. I think he was absolutely fantastic. You know, playing against 3 centre-backs isn't easy for any striker. So the fact that he played it so well, you know, it was those like kind of incisive runs that he was making across defenders. So, you know, Everton's 3 centre-backs aren't as comfortable in that role as they would be in a forward-back, and I think they proved that again today. But he exploited that by just making those runs across them, so they didn't know who was meant to be picking them up, and he scored 2 really good goals off the back of it. So yeah, he is a really, really good player, and you know, when you've got him, you know, usually on the bench, let's be honest, behind Liverpool's usual front 3, to have someone like him on the bench is just going to be so crucial when you're coming into, you know, the real back end of this season, the business end.
And finally, another player I want to speak about before we wrap up is Sadio Mane, who just seems to be getting better and better by the week, and really is in the conversation now amongst the world's best players. What do you make of him from the outside looking in?
Well, obviously I don't get to watch him a lot. This is probably one of the only times I've seen him play 90 minutes this season, but he was absolutely phenomenal, I thought. I thought it was definitely a ploy of Liverpool's to try and attack not just Sidibe down that flank, but Holgate as well. Because you know, Holgate looked a little bit shaky in the opening moment against Leicester. I think maybe Jurgen Klopp looked at that and thought, we can double up down that side and try and exploit the space in behind when Sidibe was coming forward, and that just kept happening. Like Sadio Mane is just so quick, he's so skillful, he's so direct as well. The amount of times he was backing Holgate into the box before cutting into, you know, on that right foot, and then I think a couple of times he played that really good pass in behind for somebody running across the defence. One time he managed to put the ball in the back of the net. We'll probably be disappointed he didn't find the back of the net in the second half as well. That was a really, really big chance. So yeah, I think arguably I'd say he was Liverpool's best player tonight, and you know, that's saying something. So
there you have it. Liverpool 8 points clear after Leicester's win at home to Watford. 11 ahead of Manchester City after they won 4-1 against Burnley last night. Everton's woes go on at Anfield, but they get another crack at it in the FA Cup in round about a month's time. But for now, Liverpool march on, and it's Bournemouth on Saturday.